other than they are weaker than I am. Now, I'm not some special guy, but I've been strength training since I was probably 10 years old. So the activity is harder because they're weaker, and it imposes more stress on the cardiovascular system. So the one way to not stress your heart and your vascular system and to not feel overwhelmed is to have each muscle group capable of generating more force. And so, for example, if I start doing just a static wall squat like this, and I start timing myself, I say, boy, at 1 minute it's hard, at 2 minutes it's harder, at 3 minutes it's harder. Let's see how long I can go. Obviously, the average human is not going to be able to sit like this very long before their heart rate goes up, they start breathing heavily, and they're so fatigued that they just have to plop down and stop. Why can I do that longer? Not because my cardiovascular efficiency is better, because I am stronger. So my point here is that when the muscles are capable of generating more force, that means I'm putting less demand on the cardiovascular system. So think about it. That walk that I took that was so easy, 45 minutes, how many of you know people who, if they took their 45-minute walk, they might tell you, that was a little bit demanding. You guys might be anomalies here because you're running, but they might say, oh, that was a tough walk. I was a little bit winded at the end of that walk. I was fatigued. Nothing to do with cardiovascular efficiency, everything to do with force production and muscular strength. And so what you want to see is that when you're running, your heart rate is completely linked to the strength of the muscular system. If my quadriceps, let's say when they contract, I'm going to speak in real simple terms, when they contract, they can generate 200 pounds of force. Versus the guy running next to me, his quadriceps contract and they can generate 100 pounds of force. His quadriceps are going to work a lot harder than mine because mine are stronger. I don't have to use as much muscle. So I can use less muscle mass, and therefore I don't need as much oxygen to generate that force production, and therefore the intensity is actually lower for me because I'm stronger. So I'm circling back to this issue of strength. And so when we think about running, we think about the cardiovascular system, we think about our lungs, we think about our heart, which are critical parts of the system here. But in the end, we only move because of our muscles. I'm not moving because of my heart. I'm not moving because of my lungs. I'm walking, standing, and running because of my muscular system. So when the muscular system gets weak, it imposes greater demand on the pulmonary system, greater demand on the cardiovascular system as a whole, and therefore I fatigue sooner, and exertion is higher, and so I'm more likely to slow down. So my point here today is that you finish faster when you're strong.